The jury deliberated for 9 hours before reaching a verdict of guilty across the board. Robert Sylvester Kelly faced 9 counts, a racketeering or RICO charge, and 8 other violations of the Federal Mann Act. The allegations included child pornography, forced labor, bribery, exploitation of a child, and failing to disclose he had an STD. Here's a look back at that 6-week trial in federal court. Did hitmaker R. Kelly operate a musical enterprise with the goal of illegally recruiting young women and girls for sex? That's what federal prosecutors in Brooklyn set out to prove. Assistant U.S. attorneys called 45 witnesses during their racketeering and sex trafficking case against Robert Kelly. 5 Jane Does testified, accusing the R&B superstar of abusive and coercive behavior. Conduct, they said, was enabled by members of his entourage.
What makes this case different from the other cases is that, look, you have a RICO charge with 14 offenses, 14 acts. You only have to prove 2 of those acts in order to find R. Kelly guilty of the first count of the indictment, which carries a sentence of up to 20 years.
Geronda Pace, Jane Doe number 4, testified she was 16 when Kelly initiated a sexual relationship with her. 6 months later, she says Kelly spit on her, grabbed her by the neck, and threw her to the ground. A T-shirt allegedly stained with Kelly's semen from that 2010 encounter was part of the government's evidence against the singer.
I've spoken to many of these parents. They did not want their daughters harmed like this. They did not want their daughters raped and abused.
According to the indictment, 4 of the 6 Jane Does were under the age of 18 when prosecutors say sex began with Kelly. The youngest of those, the late R&B singer and actress Aaliyah. Jane Doe number 3 testified that a Kelly team member locked her in a dark studio room at the age of 21 and drugged her, all so that Kelly could assault her.
And all of a sudden she wakes up and sees R. Kelly buttoning up his pants. So we hadn't had actual testimony of being locked up in a room and not being able to leave for certain days, but that victim was able to bring the jury in her shoes for them to be able to realize what she went through.
Another day for more truths to come out.
Kelly's defense team denies the charges and claims prosecution witnesses were motivated by money and fame. One former executive assistant was hoping to sell a manuscript about Kelly. Another former employee says she received $3,000 as a consultant for the Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly.
I've never seen anything, out of the ordinary or illegal happening.
Julius Darrington was one of 5 defense witnesses who took to the stand. All worked with Kelly in and around his studio and say he always treated his girlfriends with respect.
Everything is one-sided, and I don't appreciate it. It just hurts my soul that they've done this.
Formal sentencing won't happen for many months. It's currently set for May 4th at 10 a.m. The defense team says they'll be working on motions. One of those is expected to be a motion for a new trial. Back to you.
Our thanks to Julia. And of course, R. Kelly also faces charges in state court in the state of Illinois and other federal charges as well. Also, this year, in June, actor-comedian Bill Cosby was freed from prison after Pennsylvania's highest court overturned his sexual assault conviction. The court found that an agreement with a previous prosecutor prevented him from being charged in the case. Cosby served a little more than 2 years of his sentence. After he was released from prison, he appeared in front of the cameras along with his legal team.
What we saw today was justice. Justice for all Americans. Mr. Cosby's conviction being overturned is for the world and all Americans who are being treated unfairly by the judicial system and some bad officers, because all officers are not bad. So we want to thank this entire team. We want to thank Mrs. Cosby, her family. I want to thank my family, and just thank you all for those who decided to tell the truth and allowed us to tell the truth when we had the opportunity. Thank you.
Still with us this morning, Marcia Minot, she's in Atlanta, Georgia, and Adam Stone is in Bucyrus, Ohio. Marcia, R. Kelly, this was the first of several legal actions against him. When you look at the case that the federal government built using RICO, having the alleged victims come into the courtroom in front of this jury, this was going to be a tough road to hoe for Kelly, no matter what. And the end of the day, he's found guilty. Your thoughts overall on R. Kelly's chances of getting a new trial and then his legal troubles ahead?
Well, the concern that you would have on appeal for Mr. Kelly is whether or not an appellate court would find that the use of the RICO statute was an abuse of that statute because it was designed for criminal enterprises. And in this case, there was only one individual involved in the enterprise. If that is the case, then he has a good likelihood that the appellate court may find something in the trial that was inappropriate and would overturn it for those reasons. If the appellate court, though, finds that there was no problem with the state using the RICO statute in this manner, then there not going to be any overturning of his conviction, and he faces a very long time in prison.